The disciples gathered under a majestic banyan tree, seeking wisdom from the Buddha. The air carried whispers of nature's serenity. Buddha gazed at his disciples, radiating calmness, and spoke, "Breathing is the thread connecting your body, mind, and existence. Sit comfortably," Buddha instructed, "and allow your thoughts to rest, focusing solely on the rhythm of your breath entering and leaving. Do not control the breath," Buddha said. "Simply observe its flow and witness the transformation it brings to your awareness." As the disciples followed his words, Buddha continued, "Breath reflects your mind's state, revealing agitation or peace in its rhythm. An agitated breath is hurried. A calm breath flows like a gentle stream," Buddha explained, his voice soothing like the breeze. "When you understand your breath, you begin to understand yourself," Buddha said, his words anchoring the disciples in focused attention. One disciple, Ananda, opened his eyes and asked, "Master, how does observing the breath relieve our suffering and burdens?" Buddha smiled gently and replied, "Observing your breath anchors you in the present moment, freeing you from past regrets and future anxieties. The present moment is untouched by sorrow and worry," Buddha said, "and mindful breathing opens the door to peace within. By focusing on the breath, you transcend the illusions of time and embrace the truth of your immediate experience," Buddha shared. The disciples breathed mindfully, their minds quieting, their thoughts settling, discovering the profound simplicity of existing in the here and now. Buddha gestured to the natural world around them. "Nature breathes freely, and in its simplicity, it reveals harmony," he said, "like the gentle swaying of the trees. Your breath has a rhythm and purpose, an essence beyond conscious control," Buddha shared. Ananda asked, "Master, why do thoughts resist the simplicity of the breath? Why does the mind cling to distractions?" Buddha answered, "The mind fears simplicity because simplicity confronts its illusions and exposes the silence beneath its ceaseless chatter. The mind thrives in complexity. Yet true understanding arises from the simplicity of observing each breath as it unfolds," Buddha explained. Through simplicity, the mind begins to surrender, and the heart finds clarity and wisdom in the rhythm of breathing, Buddha said. He continued, "Like clouds passing in the sky, thoughts come and go, but the breath remains, a constant thread of life. Your task is to witness the breath without judgment, without attachment, and let its constancy guide you," Buddha said. The disciples practiced breathing, their minds surrendering distractions, their hearts embracing the simplicity Buddha described with reverence. "Breathing is universal," Buddha said. "It unites all beings and connects them to the flow of existence surrounding and within." Ananda asked again, "Master, how do we balance awareness of the breath with life's demands and inevitable challenges?" Buddha responded, "Breathing teaches patience and presence. These qualities become the foundation for navigating life's complexities with grace. The rhythm of your breath reminds you of your inner refuge, untouchable by external chaos or challenges," Buddha explained. "When chaos surrounds you, return to the breath, for it leads you back to the stillness within," Buddha said firmly. The disciples nodded, their understanding deepening, their faith growing in Buddha's wisdom and the transformative power of mindfulness. "Remember," Buddha said, "your breath is not merely an act. It is your connection to life's truths and simplicity. Allow the breath to teach you patience, clarity, and acceptance. These lessons create a path to freedom from suffering," Buddha said. Ananda asked, "Master, does mindful breathing cultivate happiness and release from suffering? Or is it merely a temporary solace?" Buddha replied, "Mindful breathing is neither temporary nor fleeting. It is a path to lasting serenity and happiness within the present. The breath is a teacher of impermanence, revealing life's ever-changing nature and guiding you to release attachments," Buddha explained. Attachments breed suffering, but breath unveils life's flow, teaching acceptance and embracing each moment's fleeting beauty, Buddha said. The disciples breathed together, united in purpose and spirit, discovering the profound truths in Buddha's words and their practice. Buddha smiled at the group. The simplicity of the breath is profound. It unveils peace within each of you, he said, through mindful breathing. Suffering diminishes, and happiness emerges, not dependent on external circumstances but rooted in your awareness, Buddha said. Every inhale brings life. Every exhale releases burdens. This cycle is life's rhythm, guiding you to peace, Buddha explained. The disciples felt lighter, their hearts carrying the wisdom of Buddha's teachings in the rhythm of their breathing. Buddha said, "Commit to observing your breath each day, for in this practice, transformation occurs and awareness deepens. The path to freedom begins with one simple act: breathing mindfully and witnessing life's truths." Through its rhythm, Buddha concluded, the banyan tree stood witness to their practice, its branches swaying like breath itself, a silent symbol of mindfulness and harmony. Buddha's teachings on breathing became their cornerstone, their sanctuary, guiding them to a life filled with peace and clarity. The disciples left the monastery with renewed spirit, their hearts lightened, their minds calmed, finding joy in the simplest act of breathing. When you let go of what no longer serves you, he said, you discover the strength to carry what truly does. The man smiled for the first time, a glimmer of hope shining in his eyes. The breath is more than sustenance, Buddha said. It is life's rhythm, the song that guides us through storms and calm. Buddha gestured to the sky. See the clouds drifting. They do not resist the wind, but flow with it effortlessly. Our breath too, he continued, teaches us to align with life's natural flow, finding balance amid chaos and harmony alike. Many seek to control life, Buddha said, but true harmony arises when we surrender to its rhythm. Like the breath, sit comfortably, Buddha instructed, and place your hands on your abdomen. Feel its rise and fall, a steady rhythm. This is life's rhythm, Buddha said, his voice steady. When you breathe deeply, you align with the universe's natural pulse. The disciples followed his guidance, their hands rising and falling in unison with their breaths, the air growing still and serene. Buddha shared a tale. Once, a farmer lost his ox. Distraught, he searched wildly, his mind clouded with panic and despair. He ran to the fields, the forests, the rivers, each breath shallow with worry. His thoughts like scattered leaves, Buddha said, exhausted. He sat beneath a tree and breathed deeply. His breath calmed his mind, and clarity replaced his panic, Buddha narrated, with newfound peace. The farmer remembered his ox often wandered to the riverbank. Following his memory, he found the ox there. The farmer learned that clarity arises when the mind aligns with the breath, not when it's clouded by fear or haste. Breathing mindfully, you too can navigate life's challenges with calm and clarity, Buddha told his disciples, their eyes reflecting understanding. One disciple, Kunda, asked, Master, is life's rhythm truly unbroken? Do not storms and trials disrupt its flow entirely? Buddha replied, storms may shake the surface, but life's rhythm endures beneath, unbroken, like the stillness at the ocean's depths. Amid trials, breathe deeply. This is how you access the unchanging rhythm beneath life's ever-shifting waves, Buddha said. Confidently, the rhythm of life is constant. It flows through birth, growth, decay, and death, uniting all that exists, Buddha explained calmly. Buddha continued, when your breath aligns with this rhythm, you see life not as a series of disruptions, but as unity. Life's rhythm reveals that even in difficulty, there is movement forward, and in every exhale, there is release, Buddha shared. The disciples practiced deep breathing, their hands rising and falling, their minds grasping the wisdom in Buddha's lessons and stories. Kunda asked again, Master, how can we maintain this rhythm when life overwhelms us, and peace feels out of reach? Practice, Buddha replied, through consistent mindfulness. The rhythm of your breath becomes a refuge no challenge can disrupt. Even in the heart of chaos, remember your breath. It will guide you home to clarity and peace, Buddha said. Buddha shared another tale. There was a merchant burdened by his possessions, his steps heavy, his heart weighed by his own choices. He carried a sack of gold wherever he went, fearing loss, his breath shallow and his mind consumed by worry. One day, a wise man told him, You do not carry gold, you carry the burden of your attachment. The merchant, realizing his folly, left the sack behind. His breaths grew deep, his steps light, his heart free. Attachments disrupt life's rhythm, clouding the breath and weighing the heart. Releasing them restores harmony and joy, Buddha explained gently. The disciples pondered this, their hearts touched by the simplicity and depth of Buddha's teaching on detachment and life's flow. Buddha stood, his presence commanding yet gentle, and spoke, Now, stand with me and breathe with the rhythm of life. The disciples rose, their breaths synchronizing with Buddha's own, the air alive with the sound of unity and shared purpose. Feel your feet on the earth, Buddha said. Let the rhythm of life flow from the ground into your being, like the roots of a tree. Let your breath anchor you, even as life's winds sway your branches, Buddha taught. The disciples breathed deeply, their bodies steady, their minds calm, their hearts filled with the peace of Buddha's wisdom. Buddha concluded, Life's rhythm is not found in resistance, but in surrender, in embracing each moment with awareness and gratitude. He continued, through deep breathing, you align with this rhythm, discovering strength in surrender and peace in acceptance. The banyan tree stood witness to their practice, its branches swaying gently, as though breathing with them in shared harmony. The disciples left the gathering with renewed spirits, their steps lighter, their minds calmer, and their hearts attuned to life's rhythm. Buddha's words echoed in their minds, a reminder of the power of the breath to reveal and restore life's eternal flow. Her possession, Buddha said, his voice tender yet firm, became her prison, and her grasping only deepened her suffering. A disciple named Tissa spoke hesitantly. Master, is it wrong to cherish what we hold dear? His question lingered in the air. Happiness is not found in possessions or achievements, Buddha said, but in letting go of burdens that weigh upon the soul. He gestured to the world around them. Nature holds no attachments, yet it flourishes in harmony, its beauty unclouded by burdens. Buddha continued, human beings often cling to desires, fears, and grudges, unaware that these attachments are the roots of suffering. Sit comfortably, Buddha instructed, and with each exhale, imagine releasing one burden, one weight, from your heart and mind. With every inhale, breathe in lightness, joy, and the simple beauty of being present in this moment, Buddha said gently. The disciples followed his words, their breaths carrying away invisible weights, their bodies growing lighter with each rhythmic cycle. Buddha shared a story. There was a merchant who carried a heavy sack of gold everywhere. Fearing loss yet craving its security, the weight burdened him greatly. His steps labored, his mind clouded, his heart restless despite his wealth. Buddha narrated. One day, the merchant met a wise man who said, Your gold does not bring happiness. It brings suffering. The merchant, enlightened by the man's wisdom, left the sack behind and discovered a lightness he had never known. Like the merchant, we carry unnecessary burdens, Buddha explained, and each breath is an opportunity to release them. The disciples inhaled deeply, picturing lightness filling their beings, and exhaled, imagining their fears and attachments drifting away. One disciple, Sariputta, asked, "Master, how do we let go of attachments that cling so tightly and refuse to release us?" Buddha replied, "Acceptance is the key. Understand that all things are impermanent, and clinging to them only magnifies suffering. With each breath, embrace the truth of impermanence, for it teaches you to let go and welcome peace." Buddha explained, "The lightness of being arises when you release resistance and accept life's natural flow of change," Buddha said calmly. Sariputta nodded, his mind grasping the lesson, his heart beginning to experience the freedom Buddha's words promised. Buddha continued, "The lightness of being is not an escape from life's challenges. It is a transformation in how you face them. By letting go, you do not abandon responsibility. You discover how to carry it without allowing it to weigh you down. Imagine the burden of a grudge," Buddha said. "It is like carrying a heavy stone, exhausting and fruitless. Release it with your breath, and you will feel a freedom that refreshes your spirit and brings clarity," Buddha explained. The disciples practiced releasing their invisible stones, their breaths deep and steady, their minds growing clearer with each exhale. Buddha shared another tale. There was once a woman who carried resentment in her heart, a weight that clouded her joy. Her every thought was consumed by anger, her breaths shallow, her life heavy with the burden of her grievance. One day, she sat beneath a tree and breathed deeply, imagining her resentment dissolving into the wind with each exhale. In that moment, she felt lightness and peace, her heart unburdened, her mind quiet, her spirit renewed. Buddha said, "Resentment and fear are chains. Release them, and you will discover the lightness of being," Buddha told his disciples. Sariputta asked, "Master, does lightness of being mean we must abandon all attachments, even love and bonds with others?" Buddha replied, "No. Love and bonds are sacred when they are free of possession and rooted in compassion and understanding. True lightness is not detachment from relationships but from the need to control and possess them." Buddha explained gently, "Love deeply and freely, but do not allow love to become a burden or a source of suffering," Buddha shared. The disciples pondered Buddha's words, their hearts reflecting on the balance between connection and the lightness he described. Buddha gestured to the banyan tree. "See its branches sway lightly in the wind, yet its roots remain firmly anchored. Like the tree, be rooted in awareness but allow your heart to flow freely, unburdened by unnecessary weight," Buddha said. The disciples stood, their breaths carrying Buddha's wisdom, their movements fluid and light, their hearts embracing the lightness of being. Buddha concluded, "The breath is a gift. Each inhale is life, and each exhale is freedom from life's burdens. Through mindful breathing, happiness arises not from possession, but from the simple act of being." Buddha said, "The lightness of being is yours to discover. It is as close as your next breath," Buddha said, his voice tender. The banyan tree witnessed their transformation, its branches swaying gently, a symbol of mindfulness, acceptance, and freedom. The disciples left the gathering with lighter hearts, their breaths carrying Buddha's teachings, their lives enriched by the wisdom of letting go. Buddha's teachings on the breath and lightness of being became their guide, a path to serenity and joy within their existence. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.